Okay, everybody, it is now 9:30 Pacific time. Time to introduce our next presentation. Excited to, just quick reminder as you join us, please make sure your cameras are off and that you're muted so that we can get better streaming quality for everyone attending. But our next presenter, I'm so excited to have Betty Torrell joining us. She's going to talk to us about the application of color picking digital app to support a design, concept, or place. So really quick, a little bit about Betty. Betty Torrell is IDEC ASID Lead AP, is an associate professor and program director of the interior design program at the SA&P School of Architecture and Planning at Morgan State University. One of Torrell's research interests is emerging technologies and techniques in visual communication, including the use of digital applications as tools for teaching design fundamentals in studio classes, exploring the use of color as a design element that informs and supports the project's design concept. So with that, Betty, I'm going to stop my share and let you take it from here.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm excited to present this today. We are going to take a little step back in time and look at an early application of a color digital app to use in a design studio for supporting a design concept or place. So I want to start with this quote. Color is one of the fundamental elements of our existence, and it defines our world in such deep ways that its effects are nearly imperceptible. So that's a quote from PBS Softbook, which is a video we use as a resource to do some review on color theory before we start the digital work. And I'd like to say that although it affects are nearly imperceptible to most, the exercise is a way, hopefully, for the student to become aware of the use of color in a very perceptible way on their part and its application as well. And it is not... So most of the students weren't comfortable or had not used digital app in the design process before. So it was originally developed while I was a visiting professor at Western Carolina University, and it was used in the interior design studios and color class there. I also used it at SUNY Alfred State in the architecture and interior design classes at Bellevue.
Hi, Diane.
Hey.
I understand you're having issues. Kristen was messaging me. What's going on?
Yeah, I am getting, every time I try to relaunch the PowerPoint, I'm getting an error message that says you cannot access this or PowerPoint is not able to open this document, including the one I did yesterday. I'm trying to on my laptop right now. So I guess the question is, I downloaded a new version to you this morning.
Yeah, and I just downloaded it. Let me see if it'll let me open that. So it launched on my end with no issues.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah, because obviously I've been working on it all week. So
I know.
so I did it. So I guess I'll just let you show the slides on your end, and I can talk on my end.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we did this, is just for that backup
yeah.
reason. So I'm gonna just share my overall screen, but
Okay.
is this the right one right now?
Yeah.
It's the
Go.
one dated 10/13 that I just downloaded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And do you have like videos embedded in this? Is that
Yeah,
what
so if
this
you go to like number 4, for example,
for?
it's a black
Okay,
screen, you
let's
should be
test
able
that
to
quick.
that.
Is there audio with this?
There should be.
I'm not hearing audio. Let me see if it's something on my screen. We stop sharing and then. And check the share sound. Let's see if that
We're going to make our own version
Right.
of this plan.
still not.
We're going to start in Morpholio
I can hear it
Trace.
now.
You can hear it? I can't
Yeah.
hear it. But you can hear it.
floating.
I can hear it.
Okay.
So that's not ideal.
I think that the other possibility is that I started mucking around with it. Remember, I pulled it over to the axis
You can
first
hear it, that's
and
the
just
big
come.
I can hear it, yeah.
Manually enter
Okay.
4.5.
Perfect. And it looks like it's all streaming well enough.
All right.
This one looks like there's a video. Let me just test that one.
Can you hear that?
I don't actually.
Well, you can stream on mine and you can watch me and yours, but
Okay.
oh god. I
So
know.
will this work? Will we be okay doing this? Or do you want to keep trying to get yours downloading?
I mean, I will try again.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening, and I just did some research. I tried a few different little tips, none of which work. So let me go ahead and I will try again. I will send you a chat maybe 10 minutes before mine, just letting you know my current state. I'm gonna go comb my hair and make some hot tea.
Yeah.
And
Just
go
know
back
if
and
all
listen.
else fails, I've
I know.
got it. It's working.
Yeah, and that was like, if you didn't have it, I was like, oh my God. So, all right. Thank you so much, Heidi. And thanks
Yep.
for all your patience in getting this set up and all your hard work.
No problem. I'm just happy we have people wanting to attend and present. So thank you.
I know it. All right. Thanks. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
You can see the colors that the app produced, and the clicks or the check marks there are the colors that the students chose to save to their library. So we're going to run through the current process for the exercise, which has changed as the digital tools we use have changed. Today, the steps for the student exercise and currently used by the students use the color picking up Adobe Color, which is part of Adobe's Creative Cloud suite. There's a couple of reasons why we use Adobe Color. It is free to the students with their Adobe suite, and it's also a very adaptable and it's easy to manipulate the palettes. So part of the exercise is also for the students is also understanding the color labeling systems and apps that are used within the interior design profession. Two of these are Pantone. You may be familiar with the Pantone system, label system, and the other one is Color Hexa. Although the Pantone system is more widely recognized in many of the design professions, we use for this exercise the Hex system, as it is not proprietary and is also widely used by graphic designers and vendors such as signage suppliers. So as time developed, as time went on, besides using this exercise to explore color and its meaning through color psychology, we also use it to explore biophilic design. So I have two different specific curricula aligning with those two distinct purposes. So at this point, before we start the exercise, we go back and review both the psychology of color, if we're using it for that purpose to teach psychology of color, or if we're using the app to explore biophilic design, we go back and do some review on biophilic design. And we currently use a video. One of the resources we currently use is a video, biophilic design, the architecture of life. It's an older video, but it's a very simple presentation of 4 aspects of applying biophilic design to a project. And for the purposes of this exercise, we use spirit of place and natural colors. So biophilic, a little more about biophilic design. In both cases, whether we're looking at color psychology or biophilic design, the students select an inspirational image that evokes one of the two elements of what they're working with, in this case, biophilic design, that can be expressed through color. So one aspect is looking at the spirit of place. Quote explains that a little further. Biophilic design can convey the feeling of connection to places through design that links people to certain landscapes or cultural traditions. The other way this exercise is used to express biophilic design is looking at natural colors. So there's an example here of student work. They were using the exercise to explore a spirit of place. So this was a residential design studio with doing yacht design, and the students were able to choose their home port. The student chose Mykonos, so they used a picture of the area to develop a color palette using Eodori, the phone app, to start to develop a color palette. The second way we use the exercise is to explore color theory, both physiologically and psychologically. And the students use the exercise to create and apply a color scheme using the app to select colors from an inspirational image that reflects the emotions the designer hopes to elicit in the user. So here's Lindsay Brayman's emotion color wheel, and it is displaying one version of how emotions can be connected to specific colors. So I just want to walk you through the steps in the exercise. Step one, the students create specifically in terms of psychology of color. We're going to leave biophilia behind at this point. Students create a list of keywords that elicit an earmarked emotional response that aligns and supports the design concept for their specific project type. For example, a design concept for a pediatric dental clinic that is inviting, comfortable, and welcoming might use the following words: secure, positive mental energy, fun, and calm. So the second step, students associate those words with colors. So secure, according to specific tried and true associations. So secure might be represented by the color black. Positive mental energy might be represented by the color blue. Fun might be represented by the color yellow. And here calm is represented by the color gray. And in this case, we're specifically referencing the colors of healing in terms of the pediatric dental clinic. So the next step is to select an inspirational image that the color picker app will use to pick the colors from. But it's in the image should reflect the desired emotion keywords and also incorporate the colors. For example, this inspirational image reflects black, secure, blue, positive mental energy, yellow, fun, and calm gray. So although the picture itself evokes this emotion, the colors also are tied to the psychology of color. So the next step, step 4, is you use the app to pick the colors. So the students are not picking the colors at this point. The app is picking colors. And these colors on the screen as the example were actually picked from this photo by Adobe Color. You use the create function. The create function extract colors from the image and can be found in the menu under extract theme to create a color scheme. What's critical here is the fact that the colors are chosen by the app, and this forces the students out of their comfort zone into new and often unfamiliar color schemes. Hence the not random, hence not personal choice, hence I've used it before and it seemed to work for that. Step 5, it is possible to manipulate the color selected. So the students are not strictly tied to the color picker selection and can manipulate the color scheme in several ways, including using the app's color mood function to further reflect the design concept. For example, colorful, muted, bright. So students, once they have their colors picked or picked by the app, they can go into the app and play with those and manipulate those colors. The other way that the students manipulate the color scheme that the color picker picks is by going into color encyclopedia information and conversion function you can explore shades, tints, and tones of each of the individual colors in their color scheme. So often the color picker app will pick colors that often have the same value. If they want to go in and change those values in terms of shades, tints, and tones, they're able to do that in the additional app. So, and then they use color hex to identify the colors using the hexadecimal format. This is just additional step to the exercise, giving the students some application of understanding how colors are labeled. It's interesting. Adobe Color also has what they call a colorblind safe. And in terms of well-being and bringing some aspects of disability justice into the exercise, students run their color palette through the colorblind safe tool, which assures them that the color palette is recognizable by various number of colorblind. I have a few student examples here. This comes from Third Level Studio. It was for a housing project focusing on wellness. And the student inspirational image tied to the emotions that they were hoping to convey in their design. What's interesting about this particular project, in addition to using the keywords to select an image of the image, the Candula flower, is known for its antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal properties. So taking a step further. This is another student project. So this was also for a residential project, and they also took the project a step further beyond just picking and manipulating the colors. They made two distinct color palettes for the private and public areas of the residents. And this is another student project, also for 300 level. They were also for a residential project, which the keywords were safety, health, and well-being, and choosing an inspirational image, again, that picked the colors and then playing with shade, tint, and tone to manipulate the palette. And this is a good example of, you can see that often the color picker will pick interesting hues, but the values often need to be manipulated. And I'm gonna show you again the first student example. I should have dropped that in the back. This is another student example. This is from a capstone project where the student, again, was using keywords, energy, productivity, spark, inspiration, and synergy, to use the color picking app to create a color palette to manipulate. She, again, went one step beyond the process and used different palettes on different levels of the building to respond to the different uses on the different levels of the building. Using that toward wayfinding. And I'm going to leave you with a quote and some takeaways. So the takeaways, looking back on these projects over the years, it seems to me that the creation of exercises for design pedagogy does not need to rely on a single modality, physical or digital. The use of digital technology for design education exercise does not need to rely on any single proprietary application or software to be effective. And existing and emerging software and applications can be creatively adapted and utilized for design teaching concepts in the studio classroom. And just listening to the AI presentations this morning, I have another takeaway. So what I'm hearing from people in the chat and somewhat from the presenters that sell themselves is a hesitation on how do we put this in the design studio? How do we get students to jump in or even just put their toe in? And what I found with this exercise over the years, the 100 level students and the 400 level students were both as eager to jump in and try something new digital. So the 100 level students weren't familiar with CAD, hadn't used digital. They still wanted to jump in and try something new using digital, even though it was a very simple, basic program. The 400 students as well were easy to jump in. So it didn't really matter what their previous experience with digital use, the use of digital apps in the studio. They just jumped in and did it. There was no hesitation on our part, on their part. So I'm wondering if the hesitation is all on our part. And then listening to those presentations this morning, also on AI, I immediately thought that which was the one it was called? The Journey one. Oh, Midjourney. Yeah, would be a great way to just get them started in AI on the prompts. When you create an image from the prompt, instead of looking for an inspirational image to use in this exercise, they could use that prompt to create their inspirational image based on their emotions, their colors and their emotions and the feelings that they're looking for in their colors. So that's very cool. I've got a step already to add to this right now. So that's where I'm finishing today. I think I'm early.
You've got 2 minutes for questions.
Oh, 2 minutes for questions. I'm not that early. Okay, if there are any questions, I'm ready to go. I'll try to wrap it up quickly.
So I had a question, and I probably just missed it because, I'm in charge and doing lots of things. But what was the cost for this color picker thing? Did you address that in there? Is it just free?
No, they're all free. And that's why, that's one of the takeaways is like, you can do a lot with free stuff. Yeah, there was no way to budget this. There was no way to cover the costs. So it was always a choice that was one of the parameters of the choice. Is it's either a free app or the tools we needed were already covered in Adobe, the Adobe Creative Suite, or some other, or it could be some other software that was available to students through the university.
Yeah, thank you. Sandra says, love this process to get students out of their comfort zone, which I agree. It's very hard to push them out of that comfort zone.
It's hard to get them to, and they're working on time constraints, and sometimes color is not, or is the last thing that happens. I mean, you know, oh, what color am I going to make this? But it's trying to get them to think about color as an essential part of the design process, and let's use a digital tool to do that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Betty. Great presentation. Thank you for being part of this. We'll go ahead. We'll take our quick little 5-minute break now. For those who have been on since this morning, go stand up, stretch, walk around, and we will be back at our next presentation starts at 10 o'clock Pacific time. So we'll see you back here shortly.